Hey, how are you? It's Heather, and I want to share a little tip, a technique for how to read your oracle cards intuitively. You may have one deck or lots of decks like I do, and want to get away from just reading the exact meaning on the card. Like these cards have a very specific meaning on them, right? And maybe you want to go a little bit deeper. Now, a card like this is great because you can kind of journal about it. You can let your mind meditate on it. But sometimes you want more of a kind of cleaner palette, let's say. So I'm going to teach you, and you are going to do it. So the first step is to think about your question. And it can be as simple as, what's helpful for me to know today? What's helpful for me to understand about my day? So you can use that question, or you might have one of your own. Get clear about it. What's helpful for me to know today? Great question to get to know your deck, to get kind of a compass point for the day, right? What's helpful for me to know today? When I do that big breath, I just kind of clear myself out so that I'm blank. Sometimes it's helpful to imagine you're even erasing the chalkboard in your head. Just blank, shuffle, and draw the card that you want. Okay? I just do this, fan them out, and pick one. Let's pick this one. Okay? What's helpful for me to know today? That's my question. And here's my card. And my card is transformation. All right, the first thing I want you to do is notice, where does your eye go on this card? Where does your eye go? There is some part of your card that you're kind of pulled into. It's asking for more of your attention. Could be anything. There's no way to do this right or wrong. Okay? Now, what do you notice about that space? What do you think about it? I'm going to run you through this quickly, and then I'll walk you through the way that I would do what would come to me, so you can hear me do it too. But I'm going to walk you through it first, so you get your own impressions. Okay? What do you notice about that space? Is there any memory that comes to mind? Does this make you think of anything? Does it make you think of anything about your day? What's coming up? What's happened? Are there any thoughts or words that sort of pop into your mind? Any feeling associated with this part of the card? Does it feel small, cramped, tight, spacious, happy, sad, moody, cold, warm, bright? Okay. Now, you've been staring at that spot for a little bit. You've noticed some things about it. Now, ask your question again and allow that place, the information you've gathered about that place, to tell you the answer to your question. Okay? And now I like to try and save this part, the word or the message, for the end, if I can. So, in some way, does transformation influence the meaning that you got when you looked at this card? Okay? So I'm going to look at this card, and my eye goes to the rose in the back. And my question was, what's helpful for me to know today? My eye goes to that rose in the back, and it feels old and papery. Looks a little bit like wallpaper or watercolor. It doesn't look like a real flower to me. And what does that feel like to me? It feels sort of one-dimensional, as if the artist is creating the dimension. The artist is the one who is deciding what this looks like. I notice there's some dark in the center, and it gets lighter as it goes out. So it feels denser in the center and lighter as it goes out. And these layers, these petals just seem to be falling off. Okay. And I'm asking, is there any emotion that comes with this? Any memories or thoughts or words? Asking all the questions I led you through. And when I think about the feeling, if nothing's really present, I take a deep breath and I kind of feel down into my heart. Is there a feeling there that this, and I get sort of the layers again, that, a feeling of like anxiety or worry or what's coming. And then as I exhale and expand, it all is okay. It all relaxes. And so to me, this talks a little bit about my day. And it's helpful for me to remember that when I'm doing something new, it can be a little bit anxious. When something is really, you're really in the heart of it, it can feel a little denser, darker, less spacious. And that as you get into it, as you expand, as you get more comfortable, it all relaxes. So for me today, that's helpful to remember. All right. So I would love to hear how this works for you and how you make this your own. And I have a feeling I might send a few more videos about how to read your cards intuitively, because I think it's just such a fun topic. So wishing you all the best. Enjoy your cards and trust yourself.